Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
And tonight we'll be reviewing a 2012 movie called Detention of the Dead. You heard of the Dance of the Dead and George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
And Dead take a whole load of barley and... No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Never
So
mind.
this is sort of a tribute to George A. Romero's type.
Well, they do
Dead.
actually make a reference to George in one of their songs, don't they?
Yeah, at the end in the in the credits, we hear a song that's titled George Romero.
Their hero.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's an awesome song, and not an awesome song.
It's an okay song.
It's an okay song.
I wouldn't buy it. Anyway, now, okay, here we go. Right. All my good bits here. All right. Right, produced by Michael Manasseri and Brooke Anderson.
Woo.
Now, here we go. Directed by Alex Craig Mann, and the screenplay was by Alex Craig Mann and Rob Reno, R-I-N-O-W. And Rob Reno actually wrote the book or story that's based on, so it must have been a book as well.
Possibly.
So he helped convert it to a screenplay. So here it is. They're based on the Rob Reno stage play. So it was actually
it's a stage play
converted to a movie. Yay! There you go.
Yeah.
Filming began in spring 2011.
Ooh.
It had a small theatrical release in Los Angeles in June 2013 and was released on DVD shortly thereafter. So
you got to admit, though, when you think about it, if it was a stage play, which it was...
No, it was basically a stage play, yeah.
It would be interesting how they would have pulled it off on the stage, when you think about
dead, burnt bodies all over the place. No.
And how they would pull off either decapitations or other zombie gross bits.
They wouldn't have actually got it too gross on stage because it could have been kiddies and old folk there, okay?
True.
Now, the stars, whatever, okay. Lots of good groovy people that I've never heard of here. Now, Jacob Zachar plays Eddie. He's the main guy with the glasses.
Yeah, Eddie, a bit of a dork or nerd.
He's like a computer nerd type guy. But he's a smart fellow, but nobody likes because he's geeky. Now, Alex... Nicholas plays Willow. That's like the gothic chick, wasn't it?
Yeah, the gothic girl.
Now, Christina B. Allen is Janet. Now, she's something like a cheerleader, popular girl, really nice looking, attitude problem. Really good. She plays it well. She's probably nothing like that in real life.
And she's coolest in this movie.
Well, yeah, she's not bad. Jason Blair plays Brad. Was that her boyfriend or the other guy?
Probably a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Janet and Brad. Man, does that sound like something out of Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Exactly.
Oh, wait, they did say something about this was... let me see. What was it? They said... let me see. What was it? They said something about... let me see. This was let me see. They say there's a lot of bits and keys and elements from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
The other actors are crying because I haven't mentioned the names yet. Okay.
Sorry.
Now Justin Chon plays Ash. He's a stoner. Really cool guy. Really funny. Max Adler plays Jimmy. Was Jimmy must be the other guy, the big solid footy player or something, was he? Maybe.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Joseph Porter as Mark. Who the friggin' hell was Mark? Okay, I can't remember.
I don't know. I think it was the guy who got nibbled at the beginning. Oh wait,
we had a few nibblies.
Which one was the stoner again?
Justin Chon, C-H-O-N.
Oh, yeah, Justin Chon.
He was Ash. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Joey Paul Gowdy plays a zombified student. And Michelle Mesmer plays Mrs. Rumblethorpe. She has a very interesting part. You could say she's ahead of the class. Or ahead of herself. Anyway. And do you want to sort of take out... I can't say too much more. I don't have a lot of information on post-production or anything else.
Just so you guys know, Ash's name was based off the Bruce Campbell's character from Evil Dead. Another zombie-related movie you may all be familiar with.
We should do Shaun of the Dead, hey?
Maybe nah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, anyway, it seems like an awesome reference point when you think about it. I love it that even Willow's name was taken from a character from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, actually, they made a reference to that in the movie when they went into the library and looking for books on vampirism and werewolves
zombies.
and other
And
things.
she
Now,
remarks...
if we were in the library in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we'd probably find one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those kids, the popular kids never thought that part out through, did they?
No. Anyway,
I'll talk about the movie now.
I haven't got. I'll have a short bit to say at the end of it because I don't have production details or box office much. I think it made a little bit of money at box office before it went to DVD, so I don't think they lost any money on it. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so the story begins. It's the end of school day. Everyone's going home, and we see some peculiar things like a weird student walking funny.
They get onto the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I thought, he must be physically handicapped. Poor child. You know, but no, he was dead. Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah, and our hero, let me see, Eddie, a boy who's a bit of a dork, a nerd,
the smartest kid in school,
who never thought you would think he would ever get detention, but he does, sadly enough. But there's a reason for it, so bear with me.
What did he do? Was he taking some sort of drugs to sharpen his brain so he could learn more or something?
Yeah, something. And then he got caught by the
performance-enhancing
by the
drugs.
teacher.
Yeah, not very good.
And I guess that she caught him red-handed, and I guess sent him to the detention. And he, I won't go into details yet.
Whatever.
So he goes to detention, and some of the kids there the following kids are Janet, Brad, and Jimmy, the football popular boy, whatever.
Whatever. We'll go through this as we go along.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See, there's like a variety of kids in this movie that come from different cliques. Like you have Gothic, you have the nerd, you have the popular crowd, the cheerleader, the football player, whatever. The stuff that you've seen in those really weird those student teen movies you see on so many times.
Yep.
So this is nothing new under the sun here.
Oh, hey, but Mark was the one who got turned into a zombie first, and he did the teacher.
Yeah,
Mark.
Okay. So back to our story.
Yeah.
Eddie eventually gets to the class, and he's severely badly talked back to by the popular kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a hard time. Poor. I was a nerdy kid when I wasn't. I was picked on a lot at school, though. You know why?
Why?
Because I stood out. Right? It's like have a sign on your back saying "kick me" or
I don't know. Anyway, so back to our story. Willow enters like the proud feminist as she is, and I think she's pretty cool. I gotta admit, she's really pretty and pretty cool.
Well, she's an attractive girl, but she actually looks better without the makeup on and stuff.
I imagine so. Anyway, she then goes to the back of the classroom, and she sees Eddie, and her are best friends, I like to think.
All the friends,
They know each other. And she thinks that he's just visiting her because she's probably been to detention, say, several times.
Probably lives there,
yeah. But Eddie tells her, guess what? I am in detention. Sadly enough, can't do anything about it.
Yep.
The next kid on our chopping block is Ash, the stoner.
He's really cool.
Yeah, he's a total weirdo.
He's a weed freak. He's not doing the heavy stuff, just weed. Like what's the one about the cabin with the...
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. That guy, he was a stoner.
Yeah.
He's only into grass.
As I said before to you guys, this has a variety of characters you may have seen in slashers and horror movies that will give you the impression that they're just running off a rule book.
What rule book? I don't have any rules.
Or just going by trends, click trends.
Exactly.
Anyway, back to the story. Eddie approaches the teacher that's supervising the detention.
Miss Rumblethorpe.
And he asks her, will the teacher be telling the principal about what he did that was very wrong of him?
Yeah.
But which would be indicating if they so much as charge him for drug possession or anything like that, they may take away his chances of going to a very big
he did say
college.
Some college you want to go.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Harvard or Yale.
Yeah,
One of the very big colleges up in America that you wish to go to, but you cannot.
And he wanted to go there, and he thought that if he gets a drug conviction through school, I'd say you can't go. Yeah.
Yeah, so a big chance.
That's not fair. They're probably all on drugs there anyway.
And he was hoping this would be his big chance of getting out of this small town and this high school and his knowledge and his brain power would be respected up in those universities. Wouldn't you be right, mate?
You would like to think so.
Anyway,
Mine never was.
Anyway, meanwhile, in the back of the classroom, a kid named Mark is acting out. He's saying he got bitten, and there's this very big bite mark on his hand.
He's going weird.
And then he starts acting rabbit, and he starts attacking the teacher.
Yay!
Yeah, eventually they pull him off. They pull her off him, and eventually they see that he is a zombie, and they see out in the hallway that there was more attacks of zombie attacks in the school.
All the other students who have been gobbling each other on the neck and different things, and lo and behold, zombie mayhem.
Yeah, the kids quickly scuttle away, trying to avoid as much as they can, and of course they try to find a place to hide. And Eddie comes up with a plan to go to the library.
Now, why do they always go to the library? Are they looking for something to read? I would go to the cafeteria and lock the door so I got some food, something to drink, and maybe, luckily, there might be a toilet somewhere nearby, or at least a pot to pee into.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, they think that that's the likely place where a zombie would not so much be
Zombies
caught dead
don't read.
in.
Zombies don't read. Yeah.
Anyway, there's no point. So anyway, they head down there. They dodge the zombies. They even try to send Eddie out to tiptoe across the hall to avoid two zombies.
Sneak past them.
But fortunately, our stoner.
Hey, wait! The guy did really, really good, and obviously all
alerted these zombies to the attention of the others.
Oh, look! There's a human being there. Lunch. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, quickly Eddie, using his sharp brain power, he tries banging on the lockers to get the zombies'
making a loud noise so his friends could get into the library door without too much interference by the dead guys.
Yeah, they quickly get to the library. They barricade it up with bookshelves and cabinet and whatever stuff they have
Anything
in
heavy.
hand. Anything that could be used to avoid the zombies from coming in.
Yeah, apparently I've had a Coke machine. That'd be heavy. Well,
of course. They try to figure out many plans. They think they should get out of there. They should stay. They should wait for help to come or email.
Should I go or should I stay?
But unfortunately, there's not few. They can't use their mobile phones because there's no reception.
How rude.
And they tried to.
They never explained that, do they?
And they tried to use the computer in the lab, the library.
That was ongoing, Joe. It was a really old computer. So this thing, it'd take forever to boot up. Looked like an old XP or something rather, or a Pentium 4. And he turned on, he's going and looking at each other, and the gothic girl, whatever else her name is, sitting there knitting, and he's doing something else. And the computer never comes up.
And Jen is just dabbing her makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah, the computer never comes up during the whole movie.
Anyway,
that's a slow boot.
Yeah, they even try to go through the library to see if they can find a section on zombies or how to survive the apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse, yeah. That's
like
another
that.
good name for a movie,
of course,
isn't it?
Eddie remarks that if this was the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there would be a whole range of vampire-related
and
books.
Vampires and ghosts and goblins.
But unfortunately,
we're not in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
But we're not in that
sort
of thing. The popular crowd kids, they seem to know zippo about being in a library.
But Geeky and his gothic girlfriend, they know all about this. They've seen all the crappy movies and read all the books and stuff. Yeah,
they watch zombie movies. They watch video games.
They
read comic books about this sort of thing.
I used to when I was a child. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, these kids they seem to be definitely a total morons of the group.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that the popular crowd seem to be the morons, and the less popular are more the brainier or the knowledgeable ones.
Exactly. Remember the Dance of the Dead? They're the geeky guys, and they say to everybody, or say the few of them anyway.
Yeah, sort of similar thing there, guys.
See? Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. Eventually, the teacher suddenly turns into a zombie, and they quickly decapitate her head using a special.
No, I'll tell them what. Sometimes in a stationery area or library, you might have a big knifey guillotine thing for cutting paper nice and neatly. Well, they did that to her head. Straight through the neck. He was going chomp, chomp, chomp until he got through the bone. It was rather touching.
Yeah, of course her head is not dead.
Yeah, that's funny. That her head didn't die, and that's, like I said, she's became head of the class.
Yeah. And anyway, we also discover another zombie, and that zombie attacks, I think it was Jim that gets attacked, I think.
He got chewed on his finger.
Yeah. Is it Jim? I'm not sure.
The good-looking guy.
Well, I wouldn't say he's a good-looking guy.
Wait a minute. Look, give me a moment here. Brad.
Brad, sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know
Brad
why.
Gets finger chewed.
Yeah, he gets no. That Brad is the Janet's boyfriend. He gets bitten.
He's the one who got chewed in the finger.
Yeah, but his other friend, Jim, he gets bitten on the neck.
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah.
They make both Eddie and the rest of the group.
Yeah,
they try to figure out what they should do with his body.
And then he wasn't quite dead yet.
He's not dead. He's still alive, and they know that they're running a risk of being killed.
And Jim or Jimmy decides the only way to get rid of me is to get rid of me. So he rolled out the window and on the second floor.
Yeah.
And he left the room. Elvis has just left the building. No,
yeah, he tumbles out, and a horde of zombies are there to greet him.
Yep.
Gobble him up.
And gobble him up and turn him into a zombie, obviously, join the ranks.
Yeah, moving on. The computer continues to boot slowly and...
Yeah, still going. I had a computer like that once. Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, anyway, Brad keeps the fact that he was bitten to himself, doesn't tell his...
He got a little nip on his finger, so it's a really slow-acting bite. So it's a very slow infection. So he hangs around for half the movie at least.
Yeah, he was bitten out in the hall, and of course, he was asked by Eddie a couple of times, "Were you bitten? Were you bitten?"
No, they got my ring or something. What is that? He says,
something like that. Yeah. But he kept it to a.
Nothing happened to me. I'm fine. No.
Anyway.
Not quite that fast.
Anyway, then the stoner, Ash, he wants to go to the toilet.
Badly.
And he thinks...
I think he needs a poo.
And they suggest, why don't you go pee in a corner? But he says he wants to do number 2.
Or hang your bum out the window. He thought, well, the zombies might be able to jump,
or fly.
Or something.
They say that he watches Shark, whatever. I don't know what he's referring to be honest. Yeah, and he thinks that there's a distinction that they should just get out of there and hopefully go to the John while they go.
Exactly. Well, if you got to go, you got to go. Yeah. Well, there you go then.
Of course, Will, Eddie, and Janet. They don't think it's a good idea, but Brad and Ash, they think they should go. They should try to find.
Brad, Ash, and Willow decide to leave the room through the air conditioning duct, was it?
Yeah, for the air conditioning duct.
And our geeky guy Eddie stays back with Janet.
Yeah.
He got a secret crush on her, you see.
Yeah, and Willow explains to him that you only have a crush on her because
she's good looking, popular.
She's good looking, popular, and it's part of you just want to. You just don't love her.
And blondes do have more fun.
And he's only liking her because the fact that that's the only things that's got her going for her. She's just beautifully attractive, and she's
so there's a problem with this, is there?
Yes, and not very much on top.
I think her up top was quite nice. Thank you very much.
No, a little further IQ-wise.
Oh, up there, up top. Okay, the face and stuff, the head. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I was getting past the navel. That's up top, isn't it?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, so Willow wanted Eddie to come with him, but he decides to stay with her even after the discussion, even though it wasn't a really good discussion. So anyway, our threesome head down through the air duct. Through the air vents, and they try to make their way, even though they don't.
Someone made a comment. What if we find a zombie-vied rat in there? And that's, yes. You're like, as if, you know. And guess what they found inside the air conditioning duct? A zombified rat.
Yeah, it seems like the popular guys don't seem to listen to Eddie. They think he's slow and he's dead weight.
Yeah,
and they
idiot.
say the same thing about Willow, the gothic chick. They say she's wearing these heavy gothic army boots, which
Seems cute to me.
which they think will slow them down, but it doesn't stop her, to be honest.
Actually, if I was a young guy at school, I met a girl out, I'd probably go out with her.
Yeah, they're judging by the popular kids. They think that they have a sporting chance, but while Eddie and Willow have zero chances of surviving.
Because they think they're geeky and blah, 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 nerdy, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the old stuff. Anyway, back to the story.
Carry
of course, Ash gets eaten up by the zombie rat, and the remaining bits of him are his legs.
Yeah, actually, we don't know. Well, obviously, is the Agnesine duck. Actually, the Agnesine duck fell apart while they're at, and Willow and Brad dropped down to the ground, and Ash is down there as well. He says, I left my stash up in there, and he wanted to go back up into the Agnesine duck to get his stash. So they give him a leg up, or give him a head up, and he gets in there, and all of a sudden, he's trying to reach it, and all of a sudden, the rat cat attacks him, and then a few moments later, you see the two legs fall out.
Yeah.
We thought it must be a very hungry rat to have eaten the rest of the body.
Yeah,
but no, he only chewed through the top parts of the legs, because we find him later on legless. I've been that way too occasionally. Now, he's totally legless, and and it's a zombie with no legs.
Are you done?
I'll just bring it up just to explain it a bit.
So, meanwhile, while this is happening, Eddie
rat.
and Janet are getting whooshy, or
getting ready to,
not
horizontal.
sushi, mushy. Meaning
they're all getting ready to do the deed,
They're about to. She takes off her top and commences to leaning in, and before we get down to it, we get a knock from
Help,
Willow.
let us in.
Willow. So quickly, Eddie trickily gets to the door. They start pulling apart the barricade and tries to get both Brad and
Willow through the door, and then and reseal the door by putting the gear back against it.
Quickly, before we get to they begin to barricade up again. Janet wants to pull Eddie aside to continue where they left off.
We need to talk something really badly right now. She drags me into the room around the corner to continue where they left off.
Yeah, so in this scene, she starts kissing whatever, and meanwhile, while this is happening, Brad's zombie
finger has gone up his arm, and he is now starting to turn.
Yeah, and he starts prying at the barricade.
He starts taking the barricade down to let his friends in.
Yeah, while this is happening, Willow is yelling for help, and quickly Eddie and Janet reappear, and they quickly try to fight the monster off.
And Eddie and Janet still haven't done it. No, what a bugger.
Anyway, Brad begins to fight against tries to nibble at Janet, but fortunately she keeps on saying, I deserve this, I'm not such a slut. And then they start both Eddie and Willow, they taunt her by saying that Brad has been cheating on her, and that she's sleeping around, and said that she was not a natural blonde.
And different things like that. And they've been having sex and everything, and she was supposed to be a virgin.
She quickly whips Brad's ass and throws him out the window, like in a Buffy
like a Buffy the Vampire style thing. Don't mess with the blonde cheerleader, guys.
Anyway, they quickly scatter into the hallway, and they try to make for the roof, which is a weird move to me. Why is it that they don't go out the front door, they just go out to a higher ground?
Well, there were zombies outside, so where else would you go? I mean, hopefully get up there, lock the door, and hope they don't come up on the roof and wait for them to go die of starvation or something.
It's just like what you've often said, we've seen in slashes and horror, and once you get to the top of the roof, there's no escape from there. There's no helicopter awaiting them like in Dawn of the Dead or like in any of the other movies we've seen.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
So there's no helicopter waiting for them upstairs or anything like that in Alive, like the other zombie apocalypse movie.
Superman didn't show up, or nobody.
Anyway, the kids continue going up to higher ground, and Eddie decides to hold off the horde of zombies by fighting them off. He uses a bit of a baseball bat and starts hitting them and using also pencils and jabs them into their throat or their head.
Yeah, you see, kids, don't play with pointy pencils. They're really sharp, you know.
Yeah, while this is happening, all the remaining dead friends, or not dead friends, the ones that were ex-friends, who are revived as zombies, start attacking them. And luckily enough, Willow was able to fight hers off and was able to save Eddie's and Janet's.
Yay!
Quickly, they head up to the Janet and Willow. They continue going up a ladder that head to the roof, but then she gets bitten by a zombie on the ankle, I think.
Yeah, but sad.
They quickly continue going up as quickly as they can, but Janet is starting to realize that she is doomed. Doomed.
I'm really doomed. Yeah,
Using Dad's Army reference. Anyway, she says, "I don't want to die like this. Oh, I'm too young to die.
I don't want to be a zombie."
Stuff like that. Yeah. And Willow she was given a gun from Eddie. Eddie was planning on
topping himself in detention because he thought his future was over.
Yeah, and that was his plan of why he was in detention, and he was going to plan on cocking it.
I would have shot the teacher.
Yeah, that's
since he couldn't report it as headmaster.
Well, I was...
And blame the shooting on somebody else. Yeah,
anyway, back to the story.
Whatever.
Eddie soon arrives. He's alive and everything, but then just before that, he can be reunited with Will, which they nearly come close to kissing. Then two zombies appear. One is a very big person, and quickly Willow, using Eddie's gun, shoots him in the head, which was her last bullet.
The last bullet, mind you.
Yeah.
I would have shot me.
Anyway, just then Brad,
Zombie
Brad appears, and he's charging at the two pair. Then Janet appears, and she runs at Brad, and they topple over the building and down onto the pavement,
where they get gobbled up. Well, she gets gobbled up.
Yeah, meanwhile, Willow and Eddie, they think they're doomed, but then they hear in the distance armored soldiers appear, and they start shooting at the dead
bang,
zombies.
And they
alerted any survivors to come to be saved.
Next frame, we see him walking out the front door of the school building.
Yeah, and then
everything's going really, really good.
Yeah, Eddie and Willow, they then kiss, express their feelings, and then we get Janet appears and topples dear old Eddie over,
trying to get him, but she's being zombied.
Then we cut to black, and we hear a few gunshots, which indicate that maybe they shot Janet.
They shot Janet.
And then we hear in the background, clean up on aisle, something or other.
Yeah. I don't know how or why they put that in there, but
it was funny.
Whatever.
I thought it was funny. And then we get the George Romero soundtrack. Oh, it's not
the song. Yeah. It was cutesy, then we fade to black, obviously, do the credits, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah, in the poster it says this is a cross between Breakfast Club and Night of the Living Dead movie.
Well, I haven't seen Breakfast Club. I must have.
I know it deals with a bunch of kids from different sets of cliques, and they just happen to be in detention to one another, and I guess they start forming a bond of friendship between each other.
A James Bond?
Don't go there.
Okay, sorry.
But again, I haven't seen it myself. I know it's probably been a cult classic to a lot of people out there when you think about it.
We're not reviewing that at the moment.
But we're not reviewing that. This is just, I just wanted to review this one because I heard about it and I wanted to review it with you guys.
I enjoyed it. I don't think it's as good as Dance of the Dead.
I agree with you.
But it's still a good movie. Okay? It's got a lot of good... It's a horror comedy, obviously. So it depends on how they interpret and direct it. But it's a good, fun movie. Mm-hmm. And that's when you watch one of these things, you don't expect a Steven Spielberg or George Lucas or Cecil B. DeMille, you expect a good, fun horror.
Interesting
comedy,
Easter egg I should mention, guys.
Goody, eggs.
The name of the library, which is called the Savini Library.
Savini.
And who else is named Savini? Tom
Savini, who worked with
the guy who did the makeup effects for dear
Romero.
old George Romero,
so
which is, I think, is
rather interesting.
a nice
and a tribute to him.
To the makeup artist who has made his
Tom
mark in the industry.
Savini was a makeup artist. He did some acting.
Yes, a bit of acting.
Did he do any producing and directing himself?
I think he may have. I mean,
I must look up on that because he was a bit of an all-rounder, I think, but he was mainly a makeup guy.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I do like his talent. I like the fact. I almost wish we could go back to that type of makeup effects now.
Actually, I would like to go back to that style of filmmaking that George A. Romero started.
Me too.
He and Roger Corman, they made these inexpensive movies, limited budget, and they're still good. So nowadays we spent $300 million on this, and they're lucky to break even at the box office.
Yeah.
Hello.
Another thing about this movie I like is the approach the similar George A. Romero approach they did, where the kids are confined in such a small place, similar to Night of the Living Dead, where they're stuck in a house, or Dawn of the Dead, where they're stuck in a shopping mall, or Day of the Dead, where they're confined to just a bunker.
The tunnels,
the tunnels.
Yeah.
And
it's close quarters. Yeah.
As you may know, George A. Romero is all about the small place, but at the same time,
a big story.
Yeah, and the fact that while these people think that they'll survive in this place, but at the same time they're trapped there. Yeah. Like I said before, when the people reach the roof, there's no entrance or exit to get out of. And it's
I was really hoping at the end of this movie when the military came along, they saw them standing on the roof, say, "Oh, there's more zombies. Let's shoot them."
Yeah.
Well, that's happening.
In George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, right there. The Dwayne, whatever his Johnson, his name is, or Jones. When he came up, he came out of the house. Oh, there's one. Bang.
Bang.
And he was the last survivor in the house until the good guys got there.
The last man standing, technically.
Funny. That would have been a good ending.
Yeah.
That would have been a good tribute to George Romero if they shot the two
as
of them.
I said before to you guys, ever so often, whoever listens to me out there, George A. Romero doesn't put ethnic groups in his scripts. I think I should...
Don't go there.
I know, but a lot of people have nagged, said nasty things about why George casted as his protagonist as African American, but they don't.
That was a good role.
But he
was a good guy.
Yeah, and they don't realize that maybe they cast them because
he could act.
He could act.
He applied for the job.
He applied for the job like everyone else did.
Yeah.
He could have been an ordinary white person, but unfortunately,
or a Chinese, or a Polish person, or what else? A Martian, or somebody.
Some of the dialogue he said was pretty.
It was
basic and very close to what people would have said and felt that their thoughts about.
Given that set of circumstances, there was nothing ethnic in the movie.
Yeah, I was watching.
Anyway, doesn't matter. We stop beating the black drum. Pardon the expression. I'm sorry if I offend anybody.
I was watching an interesting documentary about noir films, and this one was about how the African American groups, film actors, have rose to the surface of becoming the lead actor instead of the supportive characters or the comedy relief or just the person who gets nibbled on first.
But okay, you want to bring this Afro American bit up now. I don't want to talk about it, but now that you have. I saw parts of that documentary, whatever. Well, you look at it. In the heat of the night, Sidney Poitier was the main actor. He was an Afro-American. Way back when, decades ago. Okay?
Right.
There was also, what's the other one? Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I think he was that one too. He did, okay, that's one Afro-American actor. He was given top billing.
Right.
In America, we're supposed to be racist. Now, why did they give it to him? Because he could act.
Yes.
Now, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner was supposed to have somebody of his birth, because the girl's bringing home a guy she wanted to marry to your typical white Americans, and I'm in love with this guy who's not quite that white. So that was the part of the story.
Yeah.
But the point is, Sidney Poitier played a good role in two movies.
Yeah.
What was that? The Last Woman on Earth. Who played Harry Belafonte? No,
Do you mean Last Man on Earth?
No, there was a woman. There's a guy there. It was like the apocalypse thing. There was a guy, and then he found this, everything had been destroyed. He was living in a city by himself, and this woman appears that she survived the Holocaust, and then he tried to make a relationship with her, and then a third guy came into it, another person. I think it was the last. I don't know. I think it was the last woman, because it was the last woman, two guys. And the lead actor was an Afro-American.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's a long time ago. So you can't keep saying that, they've been wrongly done by. But
yeah, because even
wait a minute,
when back then, they would also make sometimes the Afro-Americans, they would be cast them as the baddie guys sometimes.
But they
also, in White Zombie, you have a Afro-American zombie, and which I think was kind of wrong when you think about it.
But you look at all the cowboy movies, all the white guys are running around, the guys with the black hats with the nasty guys, and they're all white guys, and and the Indians weren't always bad.
Ooh.
They've got this thing about, I wouldn't say minority groups, but I mean, if the Afro-Americans want to make an Afro-American movie, they can have everybody in it Afro-American. The same way the Chinese can make a Chinese movie, have everybody Chinese in it.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you're doing a white American movie or English or Australian, they're doing it based on a cross-section community. And if the community says it's predominantly white, well, they're going to have white people in it.
Yeah, and when some of these actors, like when in Night of the Living Dead, I said before that some of the Afro-Americans come up with their own dialogue to make sure that they get their story across. And then I get a horrible comment from some person saying, "Oh, they're just saying this because it's this is made up by the scriptwriter," but actually they don't even realize that maybe this is ad lib, because this is expressing the actor's past feelings about how his community was treated in that day.
All I'm saying is okay, I live here in Australia. I'm in Brisbane. If I was going to make a movie today and I had an auditioning for all the cast and crew, I wouldn't be there going, "You're black, you're white, you're Chinese." I was saying, who can do the job? Okay? I wouldn't say you're Aboriginal, I don't want you. I'd say if the Aboriginal act, I'll let him in. Yeah? We've had some Aboriginal actors in Australia.
Yeah, and I imagine...
Yeah, and sure.
I imagine George A. Romero, he encouraged his actors to add a bit of their own backstory into the script.
Why don't we get on to... You make me
it's just that there's...
You're bringing this racial discussion.
I know, I'm sorry, guys. It's just that a lot of people, they discriminate. They think, "Oh, this is all George A. Romero writing the script, yada yada yada," and don't realize that maybe the fact that you don't know what these actors were experiencing, and they may just have wrote their own story into the story because they felt like they need to tell their story about what their life was like, in the production. And considering that. It's just like any other story. You need to have a backstory to the character's life a little bit here and there. Yeah. And that's how I mean, I'm not being racist or anything. It's just that people out there, they just assume that the movie is racist because they continue to think that the actor just were forced to say these lines when actually they may not have been forced. They may have been putting their own story into the story.
They're ad-libbing, and look, is going too far into this
I
now.
know, but there are some people...
I'm talking about things I don't really want to talk about,
it's just,
and you're saying too much.
I know.
You might be annoying some people up there who might be listening to the podcast.
A lot of people out there think that it's the writer's fault for writing this part to the script, but it may also have been some of the actor who comes up with the dialogue off the fly.
Some of the actors contribute to the script. I think we can make this scene better by delivering it this way and saying, the lines a bit differently or ad-lib a bit. Sometimes the ad-lib lines work better.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, can we just leave that
Okay,
now?
I'll
Because we
move it
might
on.
have some Afro-American people listening, or somebody else who might find what you're talking about at the moment a little bit offensive.
Sorry, guys.
No, the point is, look...
But it just annoys me sometimes that they don't realise the truth, that maybe the truth behind script writing.
Fine. Yeah, but we'll just cap it off, just say that I don't believe all filmmakers are racist. It just so happens, if you're going to do a cast calling, or what do you call it, and people apply for the job, and there's no Afro-Americans applying for the job, you can't say, well, we must drag some off the street, okay?
Yeah.
To make it look good for the other guys. No, but whoever comes up, whoever tries out, first man, first woman, whoever is really good, does the job, does the audition properly, does whatever, they're going to get the job.
Yeah, I mean, I've often heard in script writing that when it comes to auditioning any kind of actor, the director or scriptwriter would write the script centered around that very character.
Well, yeah, you got to have an idea in the head who the character's going to be and what they're going to be.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, to make it believable, so the audience can believe this is their life, this is what they experience.
But you don't always get what you want.
Yeah, true.
Here's a guy in, was it, can't remember his name, actor. One of those slasher movies, Dewey. He played policeman. Policeman Dewey. Was it Halloween? No. One of those sort of movies. Anyway, like a Crystal Lake sort of thing. He played, one of those sort of slasher type movies. He played Dewey. I can't remember his name at the moment. He's supposed to be a big hulking guy, a solid policeman, but he didn't. And they actually made a point in the dialogue saying, "Oh, you look pretty good. Oh, I've been working out." But he didn't have a big body. I just can't remember his name at the moment.
I don't know who you're talking about, sadly.
He played a policeman or sheriff or deputy or something or other in one of the movies.
The only person I know who's named Dewey is the guy from Scream, technically.
Yeah, well, it could be that one.
But it doesn't mention anything about him being a bodybuilder.
No,
I mean, he mentioned in reality that he was a wrestler, but that's not. But that's different.
He was a slender policeman, okay. And he came there, and the girl made a comment, "Oh, you're looking good, Dewey." Yeah, it'd been working out, but it was made the role when it was written for a bigger guy. That's what I'm saying. The guy who actually wrote it, but he got the job. So they didn't say, "Oh, we need Arnold Schwarzenegger here."
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what movie you're thinking of.
No, I think it was that one. He played a sheriff or something.
He was playing a deputy.
Deputy, that's the one. Yeah, but the girl, when he first came there, the girl said, "Hey, have you been working out?" Because that was going to be in the script. It didn't change the script.
Yeah, and he was already a wrestler or a boxer, according to David Arquette.
That's it, Dave Arquette. But he wasn't built like a muscle man.
No,
he was slender. But it was the role when it was written was made actually intentionally for a bigger guy, and they still left the lines in there.
I still try to find it hard to believe that David is actually a wrestler or a boxer.
He might have been a boxer. I think
he's very slim.
No.
He doesn't
could have
look
been
pudgy.
a welterweight or something. I don't know what he was, but
because he doesn't look pudgy like ordinary wrestlers.
Wrestlers usually got a bit of weight, but what boxers can be lean, so he could have been a bit of boxer. But he was lean, buff maybe, but he was lean and supposed to be a solid guy, and so they didn't change the text.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
should we rate this movie, or because I can't?
I'm going to give it 9. I mean, because I do like it. I can't find anything majorly wrong with what they delivered.
Yeah, I have nothing wrong with it. I mean, I did think the comedy routines were a bit much. Like when they were racing into the hallway, it was like they were playing the musics from a Chaplin film. When you think about where they're running around trying to avoid the zombies, like it was a comedy.
Whatever. No, 9's good for me. What do you reckon? 9?
I'm going to say about 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I mean, sorry if I'm not. being insensitive.
That's okay.
But
Look, it wasn't perfect, but it was fun.
But I thought some of the scenes, like when they're in the library, and were a bit too much padding.
There could have been a couple of bits where a little bit of too much padding and nothing was happening. There's one part there, nothing was happening.
Yeah, there was a scene where the Janet is just looking at herself in a mirror, making out, "Oh, you're too beautiful to die."
But not wasn't Tim Stoller. Really,
yeah, and the others just sit around like the one like Willow's just sitting around knitting.
Well, but that was a side gag because they were waiting for the computer to come up and she's been knitting something. Did she actually start the knitting before the computer was started to boot up? So yeah, it was quite funny that that was a side gag. Yeah,
I know.
But anyway, irrespective. Now availability, guys. If you want to brave the water, now you can buy this through eBay. They got plenty for sale. Ordinary ones, Blu-rays, pre-owned. You got it. You can get it.
Sorry.
Amazon has it for rent and for sale. But I did notice, going back to eBay, this movie is a 2012 movie. But they had dates ranging from 2012 to 2014, and it's the same movie. They didn't get the dates right, but that could have been the date to actually convert the Blu-ray. That release date. So yeah, but that is the movie. So it's actually called Detention of the Dead 2012. Check Wikipedia or IMDb or something or other. Verify who the actors are, and then go. And when you're looking at getting a copy through Amazon or eBay or wherever, just cross-reference the actors.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wish that this movie had... I would have loved it if there was more escape scenes. That's what I would have loved it if there was like maybe they could have tried to climb out through the window to escape the zombies, maybe something like that. It could
have been better. I could have had a little bit more action along those lines. But it wasn't bad.
Or using a rope or something to climb out onto using the open window and try to climb up to the roof that way.
How are they going to get the rope to go up to the roof?
Easy.
I know one of those Indian faker guys who do snake charming and stuff at the window.
Like maybe use something really heavy to...
It's been out with a claw
as
on
a
the
bit
end
of
it.
an anchor sort of thing.
Yeah, and who's going to throw it up there? One of the little girlies?
Maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe
or the nerdy guy?
Or Eddie, because
he wasn't very strong. Oh well,
hey,
he did surprise with the baseball bat. But then again, he did a great baseball bat. Even the weedy guy swing it is going to do a bit of damage. Yep.
Or maybe even I can think of a lot of things. Like maybe they can try to find some transport nearby and try to get the way from in one of the cars there that way.
Yeah, whatever.
Something that won't feel like you're being completely confined to a room that's
exactly
and waiting for the zombies to multiply.
Yep. Anyway, I think we've exhausted our tongues.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go back in a tirade about Afro-Americans or Chinese or Russians or someone else now.
Well, I'm sorry, guys, if I brought that up. It's just that I feel strongly about how people keep criticizing movies, no matter how popular they are or how great the storylines or how great character development is, and they just like to poke holes in it like it was something wrong.
Some people do. Yeah, they got their own agendas and whatever. Yes, I know this.
When in reality, that script writers, they like to add stuff that's real to make the story come to life.
Fine. But they're talking about racking and stacking the actors in a particular type of person and or typecasting the Afro-Americans to be hoodlums or drug addicts or something else. Yeah, that's what they're talking about, okay, right? Yeah. But the point is, if it's reflecting what the screenwriter has seen in real life and on the media and whatever, and they're just doing the same thing.
Yeah, they're doing what they observe the world around them to get a bigger, broader picture of what they see around them. Yeah. And I think that I do applaud George A. Romero's approach to how he does his films and all that. And I like it that so many other filmmakers take a leaf from his book sometimes.
Good old George and other people of his ilk, like Roger Corman and other guys back in those days. They did a lot of good stuff and inspired a lot of other filmmakers to do the same.
Yes. So, anyway...
Can we go now?
Yes, we may cut out. So, guys, thanks for listening to our latest podcast, everyone. And I'll be sure to have something new in this...
very, very... Well, straight off this...
well, a new one that will come out very shortly.
Yeah, and I hope we didn't annoy anybody about the Afro-American tirade that Sarah just had.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of people feel
don't.
like to
Don't.
poke the bear, if I
Don't.
will.
I'll poke you in a minute.
Right,
But
the
yeah,
bear
you
a
might
lot.
upset one of your listeners or a couple of your listeners. You know, but,
Yeah, sorry guys.
yeah.
It's just that does happen a lot,
Enough.
and it annoys me sometimes.
Okay, but apologise if anybody found that part offensive. But it's something in her head.
And it's in history too.
It's history, but it's affect the history. But I mean, the point is that you can't keep going on about racial stuff all the time. Okay,
I can't help it.
You've done it again recently. Okay?
It's just that a lot of people have poked movies, especially the popular ones that go.
Yeah, I know.
That
They
have
typecast Afro-Americans as servants or comic relief and yada yada, but they never turn around and say, well, look at the white guys doing it. They're also doing the comedy relief and doing low jobs and stuff. And so they don't look at that. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, enough.
Okay.
Enough of the racial crap.
All right. Thanks for listening to our latest podcast, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment, please. I like to hear your thoughts about this movie as much
Me
as
too.
ever. Even Mike here wants to hear your thoughts on it.
Good or bad, but preferably good. If it's bad, it's not us. If it's good, thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to our podcast, everyone. Be good people, and see you guys next time. Bye
Enjoy.
for now.
Bye.